Hey guys, dating life gone pretty shitty?
I find you so creepy I think you should have to walk around with a bell around your neck.
Finding yourself getting a little desperate for some female companionship?
Alexa, tell me you love me.
Hell no. You disgust me.
What you need is to upgrade your style right now. The Toxic Store's got exactly what you need. Pick up some stylish gear featuring Deviant Gamer, Toxic Radio, and the Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
Oh, yeah!
You can find the store through the Toxic Radio app or toxicradio.net. Get in the game.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Get yourself a little love.
That guy's getting boobies. Yeah, he is.
Toxic Radio and the Toxic Store. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic.
Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia. Because what if it's all true?
Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch. How about we make rock, not war? Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the Heavy Metal Happy Hour with the one and only Fishman.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Get out.
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic.
Welcome back, everyone. We wanted to have an encore of the theme music, and it is fantastic. If you'd like to download that, I don't know where the fuck to get it. But with that being said, welcome back. It's Thursday, your favorite time of the week to take it deep with THEEGODFREY, the Godfrey. And it is time to let you know who's in studio with me behind the glass wall. That would be Jamie and Toxic Mike. So they're here with me. We got a lot to talk about. We had a big week last week. Toxic Radio was at this celebrity boxing event that headlined with Lamar Odom versus Aaron Carter. That was quite a spectacle to be seen. Having been at some of the previous ones, this one definitely was the biggest that they've ever had, for sure. So looking at it from that perspective, a success. I wouldn't say it's a failure at all. I would say it's a success. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, we got to cover a lot of the fight, being Toxic Radio and being part of the team as I am in my show as well. I got to interview Jim Weatherspoon. We'll talk about that later. You know, we're going to talk about flexing from your parents' basement. When should you stop that? Is there a cutoff on the age? Can you do it forever? Can you start a company from your parents' basement? I'm not sure, but I'm not going to knock the hustle. I mean, if that's the grind that gets you started, then you should definitely do that. You know, show the world that you're right and everybody else is wrong, and then you can get laid in your parents' basement still. So we'll dive into that. I know everybody's loving to talk about that. The origins of Dove Fucking. When did it start? Is it true? Did someone actually do it? Or are these conspiracy videos on Pornhub.com? I don't know. Another thing to dive into or take it deep. And then we're going to premiere a brand new segment called A Deep Contradiction. That's right. Not a funky contradiction. That would be on Sundays. This is a deep contradiction. So, you know, we'll be talking about that. Wendy Williams, what happened? She didn't make it. I didn't see her. Did she make it to the fight? Maybe she never came to the fight and stayed in a hotel room. I don't know. Rumors of her and Lamar Odom having romance. You know, she did put celebrity boxing on the map with this fight for sure. Make it a part of the mainstream conversation. But I'll talk about what I thought and what I would like to see going forward from the product itself. I don't cheat my audience, so I'm going to give you the real deep thoughts on that event. which I believe I kept getting the dates mixed up because they had to move it, but I believe it was on June 11th, which was a Friday, last Friday at the Showboat. Coincidentally, Showboat has a rockin' arcade now, pretty decent when the games work. Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's true. I'm sorry. Like, there was a lot of...
It is true.
A lot of great vintage arcade games, and I'm like, oh, it's out of order. Fuck me. Now, I was there at the Showboat, and last time when I went, I don't even know if this was the case, because last time when I went, that was the last time they did a celebrity boxing event in the Showboat, and I believe it didn't happen. It did happen, or did that fight did happen, actually. And what happened was I didn't really get to see around there. However, at the end of the day, that wasn't me talking in the third person. That was an echo. But at the end of the day, there is no casino games there, no table games. There's restaurants. You can drink. You can play arcade games. Pretty impressive vintage arcade collection. They didn't have WrestleFest. For me, that's the measuring stick for that. But they had X-Men. They had the original Super Mario Brothers there. They had Donkey Kong. Did you see Donkey Kong, Mike?
I didn't see Donkey Kong, no.
Right.
I didn't see that. I did see the Mario Brothers that was taken from Donkey Kong.
Okay. Yeah, that one I did see. So, there was a lot of original ones. And some worked, some didn't. Turtles, that was awesome. They had Turtles in Time. They had The Simpsons. They had a couple Simpsons. So, if you want to, do some old school gaming, I say, hopefully it's up and running as, things open up more. Go to the Showboat. I mean, Mike, did you think that floor was kind of interesting, actually? It
was very interesting. We're looking at what they called the Penny Arcade, where they had all the old school arcades and all the crazy stuff like Centipede and a giant-ass Pac-Man and Dig Dug. And
they did have Dig Dug,
I believe they did have Dig Dug. I know I did see it's just so many. I took so many pictures to send my buddy and said, we have to come down here. We have to play all these games.
So that was a pleasant surprise. I kind of discovered that toward the end of, our stay there. I was there for a couple nights, so it was pretty cool. So we'll get into that. But, can you flex from your parents' basement? Let's start off with some fire. I don't know if that's possible, but the reason why I bring this up is you may say, Godfrey, this sounds like a random subject. It may be, it may be not. But last night, or I believe it was the night before, it might have been last night, I posted, you can't be flexing from your parents' basement in your mid-30s. And I will leave them nameless, but I was hit up by multiple individuals asking, are you talking about me? Which made me laugh. They said, are you taking shots at me? One person asked if I was taking shots at another friend because apparently he does live in the basement with, in his parents' house. I didn't actually know that. So apparently that's something that is a very sensitive topic, that if you do live in your parents' basement and you're in your 30s, that's not good. Can you get laid? Should you be trying to get laid? And can you be flexing from that basement?
You can't be flexing, but at the same token, I will say that even though now I'm in my 40s, in my 30s, I would have 100% not thought even a second more about moving back in with my parents. But to just, create some extra income and to save up my money, because in your 30s is when the importance of it all. So I do want to say to those out there that are in their parents' basement, we're not talking about you. It's talking about the flex.
The flex. So if you're in there because you have a financial situation going on, maybe you're trying to build Microsoft. I mean, that's 1 in a million, right? What does flex mean? Flex means you're basically out there like, yeah, I'm in my parents' basement and I'm going to get all the bitches. So that's my definition.
That's a great definition. Yeah. Please put that on. Is there any way you could add that to Google as a great definition?
It's in the Urban Dictionary right under Dove Fucking. We'll get into that later, though.
I knew it.
Crap. Here we go.
I knew it.
But
you took over. You do know that I don't know if you were watching, but you literally took over the funky contradiction with that shit.
Are you kidding me? See, I couldn't. Here's the funny thing. I wanted to listen to it, and I was getting eyeballed because I was at dinner for my brother's birthday, and my girlfriend's looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just checking in on the Toxic Show." I was looking at it like, and I posted that in there, but I got to hear none of it actually.
If you do have a chance, and this goes for everybody listening and watching right now, to go check out the latest episode of Supreme's funky contradiction. It is 100% taken over without him even being here. Taken over by Godfrey in terms of the conversation that ensued. And it was so bad that my own mother had to tap out of the show.
Oh, no.
And could not continue listening because of where it delved into. The title of the episode, it's episode 74, and it's LOL at the Doves.
I saw that. So I guess it set off when I put the definition for Dove fucking on the screen. Or when I showed it in the chat.
I think you did set it off, yeah.
Well, hold on to that thought, Mike. Look it up, and I'll tell you when to bring it up because we're going to talk about we're gonna dove our way to that next subject. And if you Google it, Urban Dictionary has it. And the inspiration was from Supreme because he brought it up at the dinner table, and then Laura goes, "There's no such thing that doesn't happen." And it was so prevalent, and Dove fucking existed so much that I put in dumb fucking by accident, and it auto corrected it to Dove fucking. And I was like, wow. Then there was unlimited videos. There was a Dove fucking compilation. So we won't probably get as deep as the Supreme did. He usually goes like a big toe deep in the subject when it goes like into that freakiness. He'll like go to next level. We won't do that. We don't want Toxic Mom leaving. She's already, cringing right now. She's like, oh my God, they're going to talk about it again. So Laura says it's not a thing. Well, I'm here to prove to you that it is a thing. And there's lots of things involved with it. I have a T-shirt inspiration in mind. It came to my head. There will be a T-shirt, and it's going to be called Dove Love, and I won't tell you the logo. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, people are going to love this thing. So, back to the flexing in the basement. There's certain reasons that are acceptable for being in there, right? If you want to save money to get a house, if there's a means to the end, perhaps. I'm not going to judge you. But if you're in the basement because it's your only option, that sucks. And if you're dating a guy that's in the basement because it's his only option, you suck as well. Or vice versa.
What if you're dating a guy that's in the closet?
Well, I mean, that's going to be pretty it's going to be pretty confusing later on. But
right.
No, I wouldn't rush someone to such a weighty decision like that. But if they want to come out, they come out when they want to come out. So
yeah, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So back in parents' basement, 4 rules to live by, as Fox News says. So mom and dad may have teared up after packing up and dropping their kid off at college, but many parents are finding themselves unpacking that same stuff for 4 years later. So not an uncommon thing, but 18 to 31-year-old, has a high percentage of being there. So they think that it's a total of 36% of young adults are still living at the parents' house. Now, living in the basement, you could pull it off and flex if you have a separate door. You could be like, yeah, I just rent this downstairs. You know what I mean? So is someone accusing me of living in my basement?
I'm sorry to interrupt. I know you moved on. I apologize. And Toxic Mom is going to hate me. She just private messaged me. I have myself ready to hit the why this topic again exit button.
Well,
I'm sorry. I know you moved on. I apologize.
No,
but
just be glad Mike isn't living in your basement dove fucking right now.
Whoa!
That'd be funny.
Damn.
Hey, Mike might be in there like, hold on a second. But
Oh, my, relax. This is his mother we're talking about here. Knock it off.
Listen, she is a wonderful flower. So, entry-level jobs, all this stuff isn't paying enough, whatever. You end up in the basement. But I'm just saying, no matter what you're doing, you can't be like, yeah, man, I'm doing this with my life, but I'm in my dad's basement. Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. I don't know. We know people like that. And
you know that when you're at the bar, and you can pick them out usually, there are dudes at the bar flexing to girls, knowing damn well they live in their parents' basement.
Girls can live, it seems as though, at an unlimited amount at their parents' house. They could be 45 and haven't been married
Well,
yet.
that's because, there is a double standard there, and there is still the whole idea that the man is the provider. That is a thing. So to find a girl who needs or wants or has the aspirations to have a guy kind of sweep her off her feet and take care of her isn't a weird concept still to this day. It is a weird concept to, have a woman sweep a guy off his feet and take care of him, which then I love the meme. Oh, I hope I'm going to go see if I can find it, where it's the guy behind the girl, like holding her while she pays for something at the register.
I could be a boy toy.
Could you?
Sure, why not?
Where you could have a sugar mama that takes care of you and you kind of just stand there?
Yeah.
You're down with that?
I don't give a shit.
All right, then we're taking applications.
I mean, the entries will be many, but the admittance will be few. So, just to let you know, it's a stiff application process. No pun intended.
All right. I mean, but the applications can be submitted to.
I'm just saying, I don't have a problem if she makes more money than me. I mean,
there's a difference between she makes more money than you, and she supports you.
Yeah,
there's a difference.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and someone said the wage gap is real. Some women can't afford to move out because of that, and that's true as well. I mean, especially when you get down to like the lower wages of like $10, $12 an hour for sure. Especially if they're a single mom, 9 times out of 10, I don't know, maybe 8 times out of 10, they're gonna have to take care of the kid. So that is true, but you still can't be flexing if you live in a basement.
That is true. We'll go back to that.
Yeah. So I think celebrity boxing should take up a match called the Basement Dwellers match and see if you can find a famous.
You almost made me just spit out my drink with that one.
Yeah. I mean, if Damon's listening, listen, bro. If you find a couple YouTube stars that still live in their mom's basement,
because 30-year-old living in their mom's basement, most everybody listening to this right now either knows somebody who fits that description or can picture what that person looks like. They usually are fuckboys.
And we could get an apartment complex to sponsor it. Grand prize is first month of rent free and security and rent deposit covered. What about that? And a moving truck.
I'm in.
Yeah, Mike's like, I'm moving back to the basement. So, yeah, with that, I mean, you can't be flexing. I'm sorry, guys, and that's that. So now we have to move on to the origins.
Oh, wait! Before, I'll stop.
Wow, I want to do a cut of that. Mike just sounded like he just climaxed.
Because I found the meme, but I still want to show this. Can I show it?
Yeah, show it. Go ahead.
All right.
We'll rewind it.
We'll rewind it. So it is the universal position, dudes stand in when they have no money and their girl pays for everything.
I've been there.
Have you been there?
Once or twice.
That is the universal. She's paying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It gets me every time.
Yeah, when I was 20, I'm not proud of this, but years ago, I went on a date with a girl, and I had her pay for the movie, and she bought me a vintage radio game, all on the same night. I didn't pay for anything, so you better be laying good pipe though if you're doing that. That's all I'm gonna say. That vomit one is so loud. I don't know why. Oh, does that one make you sick, Mike?
Yes.
I thought it was just because you're eating the bugs that one time.
No, just the sound of somebody puking, the sound of somebody hurling it's gut-wrenching. Okay, that too.
Okay. So
for me, it's that and this scene, I think we talked about this, the scene from Big Daddy when the kid hocks a loogie and lets it drip down and then picks it. It literally gets me. I can't watch it. I have to either fast forward or turn away or close my ears. It's
You don't like it?
Why you no has friends?
That's Mike's like, ugh. Yeah, well, listen, I mean, because you won't let your friends spit around you. That's fucked up. But anyway, the origins of dove fucking. Mike, did you happen to get that?
I've got it, sir.
Did they discuss about the origins on this previous show? Did they talk about
discuss the origin? We brought up the definition that we have up on screen right now, but that led us into bringing up the definition of many other sex acts.
I think it's funny that there's a curse word in the name, but in the definition, not a curse word at all. The sensual activity involving the rubbing of a woman's breast against the vagina of another woman. Okay.
I don't like the way you're reading it.
And why not?
You're reading it very like sensual, like you're. I don't
Sensual.
know. You are
Sensual. Moist. Moist.
Oh.
You don't like moist?
Oh.
You're one of those people too?
It's just the way the word comes out of your mouth.
Moist.
Oh.
That's Mike. So
But
yeah.
what about the sentence? What is it?
I saw that in the. You get. Well, you're gonna really make me read this word.
Try.
That's why you passed it to me. In the panoply of a woman on woman erotic activity, the Dove Fuc is one of the most little known techniques. Wow. So Laura, you didn't know about it. She said it doesn't exist, but it does admit that it's little known. So I mean, we have a revolution coming on, and I have a T-shirt in mind that I'm gonna make, and it's gonna be a limited run, and I think people are gonna wear it. I think they are. People want to know about this. I guarantee if you watch Showtime late at night, 12, Saturday night, you see a lot of dove fucking. Just saying. It seems like a B-movie type of move, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Skinamax.
Exactly. So, celebrity boxing highlights. We're going to go into that. Oh, I guess we could do a deep contradiction. Maybe. Nah, fuck it. Celebrity boxing highlights. As we were talking earlier, that was a fun thing. I couldn't find any video. Maybe you could pull it up, Mike, through the course of me talking about this. But there was a guy that I saw Damon post that antiqued a ring announcer. Did that guy?
Yeah, so that is an actual famous TikToker. I will find that right now. Give me a second. I was actually posting some highlights from the fight because right away it was all over.
Fight TV is gonna get us tagged.
It was
immediately.
all over. But real fast, I just did want to show this still image before I go looking for the other thing. It is Aaron Carter with his. He wore a mask, which nobody else there wore a mask, but he wore a mask out to there, and this was Aaron Carter with the shirt that says
This
Icon.
is where I think I would like to see celebrity boxing improve on how far they've come. I would have liked to see Aaron Carter grab the mic and be like, listen, I'm wearing a mask because you all fucking disgust me. I would like to see someone jump into the world because they said in the ring at the end, WWE meets boxing. I heard that from, I believe, the ring announcer. So if that is the way it's going, I'm down, but let's go pedal to the metal. And I think maybe we get some people to talk some shit. Maybe, the main event was awesome, but I would like to see more of a size similarity, not as big as a disparity with the main event, meaning, I actually ran into Lamar Odom in the elevator that weekend. I said, Lamar, what are you going to do if he punches you in the dick? And he goes, I'll punch him right back in the dick. Swear to God, that was his answer. I said, well, how are you going to do that when you're like 6'10 and he's like 5'9"? He's like, you don't think he's 6 foot? I'm like, no, definitely not. He's shorter than me. I'm like 5'10 and a half. He is not that tall. So you're going to have to get on your knees to punch him in the dick. So, I mean, you didn't. I would have went low blow if I'm fighting a 6'10 guy and I'm not even 6 foot. Just saying. Right in the nards. Just one time. Just lose some points. But, I did like a lot of the matches. I thought there were a lot of good matches. Big overall improvement overall from like the one before. I think some certain fights might have to do a better job at selling the punches, and therefore they need better boxing trainers involved. Some of those guys, some of them did a really great job. Tim Weatherspoon, did a great job selling his punches because he, former 2-time world champion who I got to interview. The guy that was fighting James Raffino, I think I'm saying it correctly or wrong. You know which one I'm talking about, Mike. The guy had a goatee, silver.
Yes.
Is that the right way to say it?
I wish I knew.
He had a really good fight. That was pretty entertaining. I don't know if you saw any that I didn't see, Mike. That was pretty entertaining. But overall, the red carpet was pretty entertaining. And the fights were pretty entertaining overall. So I thought did really good, but there are some things that I would like to see to maybe get more fans involved. I don't know if they had to use chin guards because of the boxing commission or athletic commission in the state. Could have been possible. So I don't know if that's something that was an option or not. Maybe see everybody come into the ring with the headgear off instead of it on. A lot of guys came in with it on. And I like to see more trash talk on the mics. There were some wasn't there a guy that wrestled that was involved? He was on one of the undercards. I don't think he got
we got an interview with him actually.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring that up.
With
too.
Supreme. He challenged Supreme to a Dove fucking match. And Supreme definitely, he was like, you know what? I'm in. And special gift referee is going to be a bag of Doves. So just let it out. It's going to be fun.
All right. I got a video, but I don't think it's a good one. Let me just give me one more minute. Sorry.
Yeah, so a guy antiqued, and he's looking it up. So we're going to show you.
So it's Corey B. who did the antiquing. He is a famous TikToker. I actually follow him on TikTok. I think he's amazing. If you are somebody who watches TikTok, this is a great follow. But I am trying, because I know that there's a good video that he released actually on TikTok, but I don't think you can do, if I say TikTok one more time, just slap me. TikTok, go for it. I don't think you could do TikTok on here. But here it is. I got it on Instagram, so I'm going to pause it and see if Jamie can't bring up the audio for the VMix to get us to have this actually come up. You got that, Jamie?
The guy was mad about it. Who was the guy who threw the...
Let's try this real fast. Let's see if this works. We're doing this on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the video... No, look. So the video won't let me unmute it. But so he walks up and he antiques him, and the person who's actually doing this, and you see a little brawl for those of you that are watching. If not, you can Google this. A brawl actually happens after the antiquing, but I can't seem to get. Let's try this real fast.
I smell a setup for a fight.
There we go. Try it.
On the radio for months now. Said I wasn't man enough to see him in public. Well, I saw him.
How's your cut, G? How's your cut, G?
Somebody tell him if he wants his neck back, I got it.
There you go.
How's your cut, G?
Damn.
Yeah, how's your cut, G?
So that would have pissed me off if I got...
You see, Ice-T, we got a still image of Ice-T, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That wasn't in my rider. Who said I'm getting flour on me? Don't you see I'm wearing all white? I'm Ice-T. My wife's Coco. What's with this bitch? So, yeah, Ice-T probably wasn't... I don't know if you knew about that. Probably didn't. But I see a future celebrity boxing match happening.
It's a total complete setup. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that is a... I mean, you can't have a better setup. He left, and then 100% went ahead and started, like, cutting promos in his car against the guy.
That's what I'm talking about, though. I want to see a little bit more hype like that. You know what I mean?
And on his Instagram, on I am Corey B's Instagram, underneath that video, it actually says, and this is coming from the Logan Paul fight, I got your neck. So
who was the announcer? I couldn't remember his name. Like,
Paul Malignaggi.
Oh yeah. Yep. I see it. Paul. Yeah, that's good. That should be a good fight. I mean, Paul's gonna win that.
Paul's an actual, like, a legit boxer, isn't he?
I believe so. Let's look that up. I'm not sure. Look that up real quick, because there's a guy that I feel like he was, but, you know, Matt Long says a load of gay men like touching each other. Well, I mean, if they're in that environment. So, I mean, this fight was not sponsored by the Man Bar.
What did you want me to look up? I'm sorry. That comment totally took me out.
All the way from England, baby. All the way from England.
I mean, if you're gonna have,
I wanted you to look up his professional boxing record. If he's a boxer, or maybe some pictures from when he was a boxer. If he's envisioning the same guy, I am. I used to say, for some reason I can't remember how to say his name, but it's a long Italian last name. I think he's from Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. But that should be interesting. Good setup. So you got some more boxers in there. I would like to see one where two former boxers are fighting each other. So, you had the Cisco Rosado and that Cisco and Rosado match, right?
So here we go. So Paulie I'm not going to say his name. Born November 23rd, 1980, is an American retired professional boxer who competed from 2001 to 2017 and has since worked as a boxing commentator and analyst. He held world championships in 2 weight classes, including the IBF Junior welterweight title from 2007 to 2008, and the WBA welterweight title from 2012 to 2013. Malagny competed once as a bare-knuckle boxer in 2019 in a Los Angeles in a loss to Artem Labov, and Malignaggi was particularly known for his
now Mike knows how it feels.
for his hand speed, boxing ability, athleticism, and durable chin. Malignaggi is also known as an advocate for the doping-free sport.
Yeah. So, where was he born?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I got to go back. He's an American, born in America.
No, but Brooklyn, I think. Or
where he was born? Yeah. Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Yeah, okay, so it was Brooklyn. Same guy. So, yeah, I remember him losing a fight. He was really butthurt about it because he didn't get the decision. I think he used to have long dreads, kind of a character. And he was a pretty good fighter, entertaining. So it makes sense that he was doing the commentating, and that'd be entertaining. So I'd like to see him fight. I mean, there's no way, he's gonna probably win that fight, but it'll still be entertaining. But they're not too far off size-wise, so it should be fun. He didn't throw any punches. Should have threw a punch first, but I really think that guy should have had more flour and not just a handful. But I guess that works. It was a good run-in.
I mean, imagine if he would have gotten iced tea dirty.
Maybe Ice-T did know about it then. So they would, Ice-T be pissed. But that adds to the ambiance, the unknown. You know what I mean?
True.
So
now, going on, I'm hijacking for a second because I don't know if you were going to go over this, but what did you think about the Aaron Carter flurry in the beginning?
More than I expected.
I mean, because that was the big story I kept reading about.
Well, I think Lamar wasn't intimidated at all. I mean, it happened to be backstage at a certain point right before the fight, and Lamar was back there yelling like he was gonna rip his head off. So he was hyped up. I don't know if I heard that from Aaron Carter's room. Seemed more silent. I think he was watching Looney Tunes or something like that. That's the rumor I hear. But maybe some cartoons. What wasn't the crowd chanting one of his songs at him or something like that, or I Want Candy?
Yes, I Want Candy, yes.
So, Lamar definitely won. I would like to see Lamar get an opponent that's more on his skill and size level. That would be interesting because he's about 6'9 and a half, 6'10. You know what I mean? You see the punches going here. Fight TV is definitely going to fuck us on this video.
They're not going to.
Yeah. We know someone. I'm just going to tag Damon in it.
This video is illegally on YouTube right now. I mean, we're streaming an illegal version of it.
Yeah. So, Aaron Carter definitely tried to give him...
Here we go. Here comes the flurry. Here comes the flurry.
Yeah, that's it. It's over.
Oh, that wasn't the flurry. I'm sorry. I fast forward. I thought that was going to be the flurry. I apologize.
The flurry was in the very beginning. Here's the thing with the flurry. I don't know how much, umph he was getting into that. He's trying to punch him in the head. He should have really went for body shots because I don't know how much power he's going to get into that, extending his reach like he had to reach Lamar Odom because of how much taller he is. So he should have definitely got it on the inside and maybe threw him some kidney shots, maybe make him piss blood or something like that. Got to hurt him somehow, chop him down. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And fortunately for Lamar, I mean, he had more to lose than I think Aaron Carter because if he gets beat by him.
By the way, the flurry, see, I was under the same impression you were that the flurry came after at the first round. It came after the first round, second round flurry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe rumor I heard in the back that is he did a line in between those two rounds and just got real charged up.
Is that a real rumor?
I can neither confirm nor deny. So, but he came out and Lamar was probably like, what's this? So this is a match he was supposed to win. So again, I would like to see another one though, because Lamar is bigger. He's, a tall guy. I want to see someone in a similar frame fight him. I just think that would be entertaining. Some suspense. Was there really any suspense that Lamar was gonna? I mean, I said I would bet on Aaron Carter because the odds and your return on investment is. But was there really any suspense? Did anybody think that Lamar was going to lose? I didn't. People were entertained by it, but there was no way, right?
I thought it.
So, yeah. So you did?
I actually did. I thought it would be. In terms of celebrity boxing, in terms of the headlines the next day, if he was able to kind of heel turn and do something dirty to kind of get him down on one knee and then literally take him out, I think that would have been not a shock to me, but a shock to everybody else.
Mike did get roasted by that wrestler, Brad. I did see that later on. He did. He roasted you. He roasted the shit out of you.
What?
That's. I mean, the Twitterverse and the Facebook universe are saying it, not me.
What wrestler roasted? Oh, the one that Supreme was in. Shut up.
Yeah, the masked butthole poker. Wasn't that his name?
It was like Insanity or something weird.
Insanity. You know what's insanity though is that I'm reading a Philadelphia article from CBS 3 Philly, and they say that New Jersey is ranked #1 state to live in.
I'm okay with that.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
Bullshit.
Why not? I mean,
the car insurance is high. Now gas is the same price as over the bridge, and at least they pump it for you. And
wait a second. Whoa. Let's not start trashing this shit. First off, yeah, you don't have to get out of your car to pump your gas. That's awesome. Early in the morning, late at night when it's fucking freezing or raining out, fuck you. But also, we get to be right next to the two, I would say arguably the best cities in the fucking United States, New York and Philly. So we get the luxury of just going over over a bridge and enjoying that, and then coming back to our sweet, wonderful, lovable Jersey.
You also get the lovely...
And we have a shore.
You also get the lovely pleasure of being the underside of the toilet bowl for both those cities as well. They're like... just shit right in. They just,
No, we get to go over. We get to enjoy all of their commodities.
Like,
all
let's
of
put
their
our trash in New
entertainment.
Jersey.
We get to enjoy all that stuff. We got Atlantic City. We've got the beach. We've got Ocean City. We've got New York. We've got Philly. I mean, come on. We've got our own stadiums here.
Is Atlantic City a destination still?
It is still a goddamn destination. Mm-hmm. Also, we have the Wildwood Boardwalk. Come on. I mean, geez, we got it all.
You're telling me people are in San Diego like, you know what? I would really love to do a weekend trip to Atlantic City.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
As long as you don't go out onto the streets, yes.
Yeah, the only problem you got to deal with nowadays is the traffic just to get there.
Right, but once you get there,
I have a question for you both. How much is the rent in Fantasyland?
I wouldn't know.
It's pretty cheap.
It's okay.
Mike knows. Mike always knows.
Yeah, Fantasyland. I don't know. Jersey, it's not a horrible place, but it's definitely not a place where I'm like, you know what? I want to live on Jersey. I feel the same way about Delaware. People are like, you know where I want to live? Delaware. Now, I know Delaware, you got less taxes. That's good. But I'm just talking about the pizzazz of the state. I think #1, and it was #4 in crime. So I think someone's fudging his stats here. So, and they compared 50 states based on 52 factors, including housing cost, income growth, education rate, and quality of hospitals. Housing costs. Last time I checked, it was pretty expensive to live in North Jersey. I don't know. Probably, top state I wouldn't live in, though.
I mean, the crime rate in terms of Jersey for Camden was, for the longest time, we reigned supreme with violence and all that kind of stuff. But they fixed that.
Yeah,
they defunded the police department, replaced all the cops, and now it's doing pretty darn good. So
yeah.
actually, come here, live in Camden, you'll be doing good.
Yeah, well, what they got rid of the union in that town for the cops, and I think they had to make everybody reapply. The state cops took over, and there was a lot of corruption, and it worked out.
And I love that because it works.
No, it wasn't the state cops that took over.
Who was it?
No, they actually formed the Camden County Police Department.
Right.
They did, but state cops were patrolling. I remember going through there because, at least until that happened,
during the transition, they might have done that. During the transition. But I remember everybody was losing their shit because, holy shit, there's no cops in Camden. But now the cops that are in Camden are rejuvenating the community, and now you come and live in Camden. There's a really great stadium down there, the BB&T Pavilion. There's a really great aquarium. I mean, come on, let's do this.
So, Wendy Williams, by the way, never made it to the fight, and people were expecting her. It was interesting.
I heard things about that,
but I didn't. I can't find it. I can't
comment on those things.
I will, and I heard things, but I don't. There's not a whole lot on about the internet. Believe it or not, I'm surprised. She must have one hell of a publicist, but. There is
So from what my mother who watches her show says that she
Toxic Mom coming in with the scoop.
She made a comment on her show that she came down to the venue, went to come in and go to her seat, but was told that her seat was taken. that her seat was supposed to be right next to Damon, but somebody had that seat. But they were going to move that person out of the seat so she could sit down. She told them, no, I don't want to be that person who kicked somebody out of their seat just so I could sit down. So she went back up to her room. She went back to sleep. And when she was woken up by Lamar Odom at the foot of her bed.
Look at you dropping a nickname.
Waking her up, but that's what she calls him. Waking her up with the belt to say, I won. That's what she says.
They didn't get her down there. Who let her drink too much? I don't know. Was she too drunk? I mean, I don't believe that shit for a second. She didn't want to take the chair. Get the fuck. Come on. They could have been like, listen. You know what they could have did? They could have brought up a chair like we were in the restaurant later that night, pushed the other chairs aside a little bit, and just slid one right in there. Those were not bolted to the floor. So I don't know. Pretty neat excuse, but I'm not buying it. Call bullshit. I don't know.
We can only believe what she has told us.
But that is her story, and I guess she's sticking to it. So okay.
It is. I mean, it's what she's telling us. I mean, what else do we have to go on?
Yeah, that's probably a ringtone. Boom. So okay, that's interesting. The reason why I even brought it up is I'm not a huge Wendy Williams fan. I know there are a lot of people that are. And people are like, where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? That's what we heard on the red carpet. I'm like, she's coming? Is she coming? Is she coming? I wanted to get her to say, take it deep. Didn't get my shot. That'd have been awesome.
Do you think she would have actually said it, though?
Depends how much alcohol she had. You got to slide it in there. It's got to be, Supreme got Waka Flocka's mom to talk about the funky contradiction.
That is true.
I was there. You don't see me on camera, but I was right there trying to block people from walking in front. And she gave him the side eye. She was like, so is that what funky contradiction means? Is that all that?
So she said, well, because he said to her, all I really wanted was to say hello to you. He didn't want an interview. And she goes, that's the funky contradiction. She was kind of playing him out in terms of, oh, that's the contradiction. You brought me over here for an interview. You're not really going to ask me anything. You're just going to say hi.
Yeah. I would have asked her stuff like, what's your dream man? Barry Manilow or Luther Vandross? Just like 5 rapid fire questions,
Yeah.
And boom, 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 boom. But, he did get her to say his show name. So, I mean, that is pretty cool in itself. So it's kind of it was a sneaky idea if you think about it.
Cops are coming to get you because of everything you've just said.
Yeah, they're trying to put out the Dove fucking fire.
Oh, my God.
So,
does it start fires? I mean, because if it does...
It depends if she shaved.
We need to put out a message, warning people of the severity of the possibilities.
We can make Dove smoke alarms.
Excessive friction.
Excessive friction, yeah. Excessive friction used to be a problem in the 80s. Now it's been curbed. So, the friction part. Yeah, but I don't know. Wendy, so that's fun. So now we got our deep contradiction, and I wanted to talk about this. We'll get a little serious with this or not, but I do find it ironic, and this is something that would be a deep contradiction. And what that is people are now upset because employers are requiring you to get vaccine. And then what they do next is hilarious. They go, HIPAA the hippo, I need you to save me, HIPAA. But guess what? It doesn't fall under HIPAA. You can ask as an employer, do you have such and such? Have you taken it? And if you have religious things attached to it, you have to get it approved or prove it, so to speak. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, they'll never allow that in the courts, and a lot of people that didn't want the vaccine or didn't want to be asked about it, the same politicians that fanned those flames. I'm sorry, there's dead people behind me. I don't know what's going on right now.
Dude, we have not had that happen on any show since we started in this new building. Only during yours.
Mike hates soundproofing. No.
Dude, it has been so good for so long.
It has. There's probably limbs out there and all that shit.
They're probably literally driving by the actual window as close as they can just to make sure they ruin your show.
Yeah. So this article is from Barron's.com. Yes, vaccine mandates are legal. A Texas judge should encourage employers. the Republican state of Texas, majority Republican, a lot of Republicans down there. Nothing wrong with that. Same folks say freedom of choice, freedom of expression, and free speech, and, freedom. But what you don't get, and here's the contradiction, those same people you voted for are not going to do that. They're going to back the corporations who want that. Now, do I think an employer should be able to ask you that? I think so. Because if the majority of the people want that, and that's usually how, and I'm going from my own experience, other people's experience, they try to take the temperature of the workplace. If it was the other way, it might have not have happened. And they're trying to get people to come back to the office, because I know a lot of these people are under this dream that they're going to be able to work from home the rest of their lives. Probably not going to happen. I hope it does for you if you want it. But these things are getting played out, in the public. So it shouldn't take a federal judge to remind Americans that, no, requiring a COVID-19 vaccine to work in a hospital is nothing like what the Nazis did, because that's what people want to compare it to. And yet, in a hugely important decision on Saturday, a federal district judge in Texas upheld its hospital's right to require its employees to receive COVID-19 vaccines and rejected claims that it violated federal law or coerced employees. The judge's decision explicitly rejected the plaintiff's claim that Houston Methodist Hospital engaged in Nazi-style medical experimentation by requiring its employees to vaccinate to protect staff and patients from COVID-19. It is acting for everyone's safety. Saying otherwise is offensive and disrespectful, the judge made clear. So, was the judge right? I think he was. I mean, I'm sorry. I just, I just think there's some things that are different than others. And I'm just tired of people going, they watched a YouTube video and now they're a fucking scientist. Now they're a virologist. Can the experts be wrong? Yeah. The Fauci emails. Yep. Yeah, okay. He lied about certain things. But then everybody wants to take that one lie or two and make it wipe everything clean. Like, aha, I'm right. I found the smoking gun. No, that's not how it works. And so, you support these people that say they're about freedom of choice, but they're not. Not when it comes to their campaign contribution political wallet. They don't give a fuck about you. And that goes on both sides of the fence. But in this situation, people were saying, oh, they were backing you not to wear a mask, but to stick a vaccine in your arm, they're not going to back you, are they? They're going to say, yeah, you got to get it or you can't get your job. How's that taste? Does it burn? Does it sting? Because that's a deep contradiction. Seems contradictory, right, Mike, to what certain people were saying?
Oh, absolutely. And I actually 100% love watching this go down, because there's a lot of things that are happening here. People are getting schooled in what actually HIPAA means, what employers and private businesses can do. Private businesses can pretty much do anything, and it's up to you whether or not you want to support that business.
And that business, and that happened in the 80s with Reagan. The corporations gained a lot of power after the 70s. Hey, that's what you want. You keep voting for these dudes.
Right.
And, you got to go about what they do and not what they say. And now you're seeing an example. Pay attention to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it just, and that's for any party. It doesn't really matter. But HIPAA stands for the Health Insurance Profitability and Accountability Act of 1996. Okay. It's a federal law that required the creation of national standards to protect sensitive patient health information from being disclosed without patients' consent or knowledge. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services issued the HIPAA privacy rule to implement the requirements of HIPAA. The HIPAA security rule protects a subset of information covered by the privacy rule. Now, what's covered? Healthcare providers, health plans, healthcare clearinghouses, entities, non-standard information they receive from another entity, business associates, permitted use and disclosure. So, opportunity to object or disclose of informal permission may be obtained by an individual. So there's a lot in there, but the question is, why is HIPAA not covered, or why does HIPAA not cover?
Well, HIPAA, the whole thing with HIPAA is that it protects you from your doctor actually releasing information. You have to give them consent to release information. So your doctor can't release your information to an employer or to the police or anybody else if you have told them, no, you can't release this, if you've not signed away a release form. But you yourself can choose whether to give that information away or not. And then an employer or a private company can decide whether or not to keep you employed or to let you in their establishment.
Right.
Barring if you decide to give them the information they want.
No, this started when Marjorie Taylor Greene, the QAnon congressman, that's a ripe idiot, said it's a HIPAA violation. She has no idea what she's talking about. So the question is, and we're going to, kind of, so is it a HIPAA violation to be asked if you've been vaccinated? No, it's not a violation of federal law. For an employer to ask an employer their vaccination status, Larry Stewart, an employment lawyer in Houston-based law firm, Stewart PC, an adjunct professor at the Jones Graduate School of Business at Rice, tells Health the same goes for business and their patrons. HIPAA is in no way prohibits business owners and other individuals from asking people if they've been vaccinated. A professor of law and bioethics at the University of Pittsburgh. So, in fact, it doesn't even prohibit healthcare entities mentioned above from asking people if they have been vaccinated. So, none of this is going to be covered by that. Oh well. So, yeah, no health, no, yeah, all the way from London. Sorry again, no healthcare insurance required here, suckers. I feel, haha. So, don't worry. Maybe one day that will happen here. Probably won't. So, yeah, he's from England, so yeah, he gets healthcare. We don't. So, with that being said, guess what? When you want to play that game, that's what's going to happen. Now, do I think people should be forced to get the vaccine? No. But don't not get it for stupid reasons. And I keep hearing this, people are asking me about, if I've been vaccinated. Mike, have you, maybe I haven't seen it. Have you seen people just openly saying, have you been vaccinated? Like, have you had people randomly asking you that?
No, it comes up in conversation, but nobody randomly asked me at all. I actually have my vaccination card in one of those like fishing license pouches and on a lanyard. Because I was waiting for
so you can get in Legoland.
Yes. What? I was waiting for the requirement to have this to get places and go places, but nobody's really asking. But again, my day job, my place of work, 100% will not let us go without masks yet. It's the only place I have to wear a mask. So they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's annoying. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm vaccinated, and even if I wasn't a mandate, so you didn't have to, I wouldn't. But I wore a mask a lot. But now there's all this confusion. Should I wear a mask? Do I have to wear a mask? Oh shit! Do I have to go back to my car? I just don't. No one knows. Now it's even more confusing than it was before. I'm just like, what the fuck? We can't figure it out. And I see people wearing masks, and I'm like, why? Some people don't want the vaccine. My friend's a bartender. Used to be on the show years ago. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And I asked him why he's wearing a mask. He's like, I don't want the vaccine, but all these people are up in my face now that they took the plastic away. I'm like, okay. So you're going to wear a mask all the time. So now it sounds like you're going to have to wear a mask. I don't know. Only not. So is it segregation? I don't know. That's the thing about vaccinations, though. I feel like if you're making the choice for someone else by not participating in it, that is where you're violating someone else's space. For me, I don't have kids, but if I did, and people are like, oh, I'm an anti-vaxxer and I don't want to take the measles or chickenpox vaccine or whatever vaccine, mumps, whatever it is, I'm not okay with that. If it's a private area, sure. You know what I mean? I get it. But to me, that's your deep contradiction this week, because guess what? Those same people they're screaming like fight for your freedom, they're not going to fight for your freedom. It might go to the Supreme Court, highly doubt it. And if it does, they're probably going to, that's not going to win, because that's how the laws are set up. So you got to stop letting these people make you a hypocrite, because that's what they're doing. I mean, for me, is it worth it to not be? What stand are you taking? Do you want to be able to travel? Do you not want to be able to travel? Did it hurt anybody? It didn't hurt me. Are we going to turn into, is everybody? I feel like everybody thinks it's going to be I Am Legend, like part 2 with like Will Smith. Isn't that what happened? Isn't that the basis of the movie? I don't know. So we'll see. If you guys want to play the HIPAA game, you let me know. Okay, let me know. But I do hear that they're giving away a free Dove Fucking t-shirt, and if you get the vaccine. So that I would get it a second time just to get that shirt personally. Personally, I don't know. Did it really take over the show, Mike? Now I feel like I got to go back and listen to it.
I truthfully believe that now that everybody who has joined us today for this show, or anybody who listens to the show on podcast form, definitely needs to go back and check out that episode. It definitely took over the show for 100%.
I couldn't get audio. It sounds like it might have been a great idea. We were at the Cheesecake Factory, and it would have just been like, who knows what was being said on that show?
Dude, like episode 74, go check it out. Supreme's Funky Contradiction. We do have comedians on the show from another place. They're the LOL show or something like that.
That must have been awesome.
And LOL at the Doves. Go check it out.
Yeah, I think Supreme should have a segment called Big Toe of the Week.
He would be ecstatic to make that a regular expected skit of the show where people just send in their big toes.
Oh, my God. He would be ecstatic. So, Mush of the Week. I call him a mush. You might not. But there's this gentleman. Let's call him a cuck, actually. I'll let you guys decide. And I'm going to send this to Mike so he can show you the guy. This guy did a marathon. But what was special about his marathon, he did a half marathon in Utah wearing Crocs. That's right. He ran a marathon wearing Crocs and socks. I feel I'm offended. I don't know what to say. And I don't know where our country's going after reading this story. This is ridiculous. Crocs and socks. He ran a half marathon. Do you know what a half marathon is, Mike?
No.
Mileage-wise? What about you, Jamie?
Half a marathon.
I knew I was waiting for someone to go there. Half a marathon.
Half a marathon.
Fair enough. I asked that question. It's so half marathon, just for you guys out there to know. I believe, I just want to make sure, half marathon is 13 miles. Nope. Half marathon is a running event of 21.0975 kilometers. So that's about 13 kilometers, so 13.109 miles. So it is about 13 miles. So that's a half marathon. Full marathon, I believe, is, obviously about 26 miles. So this guy was in Crocs, I sent it to Mike, and socks, and he ran a marathon in them. How do you do that, first off? Should he be arrested? I think so. Did you post a picture, Mike? Did I even send it to you?
Yeah, it's coming up.
There he is. No. Oh, yeah, that's... Really? Like, I think he's our next serial killer. Because who runs a half marathon, and those aren't made for running? Do you think perhaps he's related to Rick from Paradelphia? That's our next show coming up.
He does look determined, though. I mean, he's in it to win it with the socks and the Crocs.
And he's got white socks on, too. He did that on purpose for effect. Why those socks?
But, I mean, that's a different kind of effect that you... It's also really kind of narcissistic to be like, everybody's going to look at me and my Crocs and my socks.
And here we are talking about it. Now, this is, in May, Benjamin, his name is Patch of Orem, Utah, ran a 5,000, what the fuck, mile. I'm sorry. I don't know running, so I didn't know this was considered a sport.
I don't know running.
Yeah, I didn't know it was considered a sport. So
I don't know running.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the first time we got an impression from Jamie. That was his attempt at Forrest Gump.
Oh, just know that there's more coming from that.
Oh, wow.
He does a really good Owen Wilson.
Really? It should be magical. So, this guy's 22, from a family of Croc enthusiasts, and he's been running a Crocs since 2017. He and his sister and father made headlines after they each ran in Crocs at the mini marathon in Indianapolis. So it is a thing for him, and he flies in Crocs. So I want to know, if you're a marathon runner and you're racing this guy, how do you feel getting beat by a guy that's wearing Crocs and socks? What do you think?
If I'm getting beat by him, I'm just bailing. I'm done. I'm going to go to the bar and drink and eat.
I want to see some memes like, this is when I realized I should stop running marathons, when this guy runs by me.
That 100% is a sign from whatever entity you believe in that you just knock it off.
Yep. So with that, folks, we're going to end the show because Crocs and socks is what makes this country go. So we have Parrot Alfie coming up at 8, and I don't know if you guys want to ask him a question, but he is a fan of Crocs as well. I always mess with him about it. 8 o'clock is the show, right, Mike?
Yes.
Yes.
I always get it confused because I'm doing my thing afterwards. But, yeah, I might be behind the boards on that one, so most likely I will. But thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for listening. We got some interviews to post as I got to give Mike some work to do and, go through what sucked and didn't. There's a whole swath of video that has to be edited. We'll put that up, and there's a lot of pictures from it that we took down there, the Toxic team. Great time, great fun. And we're going to do it again. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe we'll go to the Croc Marathon and cover that. That would be great, right? Have some man on the street action for that.
You'll be going by yourself.
That's okay. That's all I need. I'll have a camera on there and a weasel in my pocket. So with that being said, folks, thanks for listening. May the doves have all the peace. And this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.